n8n finally released two native MCP nodes. The first one is the MCP server here in the red that can be hooked up to as many tools as you want. Plus, you can hook it up with Claude desktop and cursor. And they also released the MCP client, which makes it easier to call on as many tools as we want without overwhelming our agent. So that way our workflows will be simpler, cleaner, and they will probably work better. It is early days, but this is my personal prediction. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it works with a couple of things. We're going to just choose something from the calendar, and then we're going to write a post, and then I'm going to show you how to set up your Claude desktop and hook it up with the MCP server. All right, so let's test the flow because our MCP server needs to be listening. And then we're going to open up this little workflow that only has a chat message and is hooked up to the MCP client, to the MCP server. So we've got the MCP client hooked up to the MCP server, and it will choose which tool to use based on my inquiry. Okay, let me just put my glasses on so I can read better from the screen. And I'm going to open up my chat, and I'm going to say, write a LinkedIn post. And I'm going to let it run. It will go into the MCP server, and it will go into this little automation that I made just before this video. I have a much larger, specifically made for LinkedIn agent with human in the loop, but just for this instance, I created this little guy here. And here is my LinkedIn post. So I believe that AI has the potential to revolutionize online education. Let's go and make sure that this is exactly the same post that was written by this sub workflow. And if I go to executions and go to the very last one, and if I click into the LinkedIn writer, I can see, I believe that AI has the potential to revolutionize online education. So this is exactly the same post that was called from the MCP server through this little AI agent workflow. Okay, now let's try something else. I'm just going to check if I have any events tomorrow. And what I'll say is, actually, we need to start testing again. So our workflow, our MCP server is listening for new events. And I'm going to say, do I have any events scheduled for tomorrow? Okay, and then I'm gonna let it do its thing. I have Coffee and AI Zoom Jam. One thing that I'm seeing that is not correct is it is 4 to 5 o'clock, but it is AM in my calendar. So if I click on the link that will take me to my calendar event, you will see that it is actually 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. However, my little MCP server is giving it to me 12 hours later. So if you have the same problem, you will need to check your calendar, your Google Calendar, or how the node is set up in your n8n automation. So yeah, it's pretty good though. But let's go and now download Claude. So you'll need to go to claude.ai/download and download it for your operating system. I use Mac, so I downloaded it for Mac. You may also need, especially if you're going to use Cursor, you may also need to download Node.js It's super easy to download it and install it. It's got a wizard, so it just kind of tells you what to do, and you click buttons and it does everything that you need. But if you're going to use cursor, it will be super helpful. Okay, so once you download Claude, what you need to do is you need to open it and then go to help, and you need to enable developer mode. Once you enable it, I don't think you can disable it. So we've got it as developer mode now, because as you can see, now when I click on help, I don't see to disable it. Then what we need to do is click on settings, and then we need to click on a developer and then click on edit config button, which will open up the Claude directory, and we need to open the highlighted file. And in here, we're going to copy and paste this code that was given to us by n8n. So is the exact code we need. And the only thing in here that we need to change is the webhook URL from your MCP server. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my MCP server node. I'm going to open it. I'm going to make sure that I'm grabbing the production URL, and I'll go back to the code and paste that URL. I'm going to save it. And now what I need to do is actually to close Claude altogether and reopen it so I can see those changes. And now when it reopens, you will see underneath here, I have a new button that shows me my MCP tools that are available. As you can see, we've got the 4 Google Calendar nodes and the LinkedIn post creator. And what is really cool is that if I add another tool, for example, if I go in here and I add, say, the calculator, it seems to be the tool that everybody is giving examples with, and then I save it, then when I go back to my Claude and I can close it again, and then I'm going to reopen it. And now, as soon as it opens, you'll see that now I have 6 tools. The calculator is also added, which is very cool because you can add as many tools as you want to your MCP server, and you don't have to do anything else with Claude. And once you put that little code that n8n gave us, and you just change the URL from your personal MCP server, that's it. You can add as many tools as you want, and they will always show up. The only thing is that you'll have to quit Claude and reopen it again so the changes can take effect. So what I can do now that I have all my tools in here, I can be in Claude and I can say, do I have any events scheduled for tomorrow? Exactly the same thing I said in the workflow in n8n. And what Claude wants me to do is give it permission to go in and start that workflow. And as you can see, I do have my coffee and AI jam, and what I'm noticing now is that it has the right time. So there's something in my settings in n8n that is screwing up the time. It's giving me 12 hours later, like it's giving me a PM instead of an AM. And yeah, that's pretty cool. And what I'm seeing with Claude specifically, it can be used very effectively amongst teams in the workplace where there's powerful automations and workflows behind it in n8n, but everybody in the workplace can use Claude because it feels familiar, it's not overwhelming, And this can be a huge asset for any business. So I'm really happy that they've decided to launch these two nodes. I hope they make them even more robust, because at the moment they're still testing them. So there could be some hiccups here and there. They may add more functionalities and capabilities. Hopefully they will. But so far so good. I'm really liking it, because you've probably seen so many videos on YouTube that have these ginormous monstrosities of workflows that if something breaks, it takes forever to fix it. But now with MCP servers, we can have smaller, more robust, and cleaner workflows. If you have tried the MCP server or client on n8n already, let me know what you like, what you don't like, if there's anything you wish it did. Or tell me what kind of tools you're using and how they are performing. And I'll see you in the next video.